I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good plan?
It's a great
You got a good plan?
We got a good game plan, y'all.
All right.
Y'all stay tuned. It's going to be great.
How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. I feel pretty good. You know, you never know how you're gonna feel until you reach these moments, right? But here we are. This is the park where Courtney and I, we sat right at that stoop right there about almost 2 years ago. You know, we sat there and the waterfall was going. We got the views here. It was nighttime and it was special, man. And I knew at that moment, I said, you know, this woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. So tomorrow's gonna be special, man, and I believe that the Lord has spoken to me about this, and it's gonna be amazing. I mean, I'm excited, man. I can't even put into words how excited I am.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
me
excited
too.
to show this to her too.
Yeah, me too. And she doesn't know we're recording this. It's amazing. First time I laid my eyes on Courtney was April the 27th, 2019. I remember it just like yesterday. I pulled up to that location right there at University of North Carolina at Charlotte at the Cone University building in the garage. And I remember carrying a sweet potato pie. My mom made 3 pies. So she had a pie, my dad had a pie, I had a pie. And we were walking in the building to one of my discussions. At the time, he said, she said it was just a discussion. And I remember when we were walking across a bridge going into the building, I looked to my left, I saw a woman with a green shirt and blue jeans on and a black Adidas baseball cap on with a long ponytail in the back. And so when I saw her, I was like, man, I said, you know, that has to be, she has to be a part of this discussion at some point. Some way, I was like, I have to be able to see that. But then in my mind, I was like, you know, she might be a UNC Charlotte student, or she may be, you know, a little young, or she may even have a boyfriend. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, let me just go inside. But at that moment, I didn't know exactly who she was, but man, it was a good sight visually. But I was like, I need to have a conversation to try to see, you know, what kind of woman she was. And she, lo and behold, man, she came into the discussion after that. She came in with her friend Leslie, and they walked in. And then afterward, we were able to invite her out to lunch or to dinner afterwards. And from there, man, I got to really see her intellect. She's a really good listener, so she was able to kind of remind me of some things that was discussed that I forgot about in the discussion. And I got to really see the fact that she was a woman that loves God. Like, she was really talking about different biblical accounts. And I was like, wow, she started talking about Moses and different Old Testament scriptures. I'm like, wow, so she really like knows the Bible. And at that time, I wasn't as well versed in that area. So I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive, you know? So that was a little bit about the first time that we met. Oh no, it's closed. But it's literally that room. If we go down 2 openings to the left. Yeah, this is where it was, y'all. Right here in this building, Cone University building on the campus of University of North Carolina at Charlotte. We came back here. Courtney, when you see this, you'll know when you walk through that door after the icebreaker, I saw you and Leslie walk in there late, but it was great. I wanted to just show everybody where we met, and we met right here on campus, on the campus of UNC Charlotte. Awesome moment. My favorite thing about Courtney, I think I just kind of briefly went over it, but she's a really good listener, man. Really good listener. And she's the person that if you don't think she's listening because she's quiet and she doesn't say anything, when you're talking about something and it's just a little inaccurate, she'll bring it out and she'll say, well, no, when you said this is really what it was. And the fact that she can listen, because a lot of the times when I think about like our discussions, I'm so focused on interacting with the group. She's the one that's really like, well, no, you know, don't forget to say this or don't forget to say that. And to me, that's really helpful, because in our society nowadays, everyone wants to talk. Not a lot of people want to listen, and her listening skills is like second to none. I've never experienced it in my life before, and I'm thankful to God that He chose me to have a woman like her. One of the things that makes her different is her relationship with Christ is something that you can see in her life. She's not just the person that's like, hey, I just check a box off, I go to church on Sundays. You can literally see that through her commitment to her abstinence. And that was the thing that stuck out to me. I'm like, you look good and you're abstinent? Like, wait a minute, whoa, you look good and you're abstinent. And that was the thing that caught my attention when we sat down that day. We were talking and talking. She's like, I wish a man would really respect the fact that I'm abstinent. I'm like, say what? How long you been abstinent? Yeah. I'm like, hey, let's talk about that, right. So she started talking about that. I'm like, wow. So one of the things that stuck out, and before meeting her, just to add context to that, I was meeting women that wasn't really 100% okay with that. It was more like, I can give it a try. But at that point, she was almost 2 years in her journey separately. So then when we got together, it became a joint effort to maintaining our abstinence journeys together. So that's one thing that I can say that stands out to her, about her. And then on top of that, I think one of the things that stands out is, like I said, man, she's really smart, man. Like even withholding this, like right now I'm supposed to be getting food for her. And Courtney, when you see this, you'll be able to see that this is what I was doing. She's really smart, man. So having this ring for this long, almost 2 months, has stressed me out, to be honest. But she's genuinely going to be surprised about this. So yeah, she's a smart woman, and she has a really good heart, and she listens very well. So I think those are the things that stands out. I think it'd be amazing. Much like what we talked about a little bit off camera, one of the things that she does well is we're really recognizing our strengths. Like for myself, I'm very visionary. Like God has already told me that she says I'm gonna touch millions, but she's more of the, like, I'm the what and she's the how. Like she's like, okay, like how are we gonna do this? And then she kind of is able to really get the finite details as to what that looks like. So one of the things that we work well with is that's complementary. And she loves talking about relationships and how it relates to the Word of God. So I think that those two things is gonna really create a really impactful future that's not gonna just impact our relationship and our marriage and our children. It's gonna impact people that we may never even get to know because of the example that we're actually gonna be able to put forth together as a team. Man, that is a tough question, because she means a lot, man. I say that she means the world to me. And I know that sounds so cliche. She means the world to me because every time I see her, and I just told her this recently, I was like, you're the only woman that I got to know that really created a safe space for me to be honest. Like days where I'm stressed out, she's recognized these things in me, like, Joe, you need to take a break today. Like I didn't take any rest from any type of work that I've done in the almost 2 months since I've left my job and I'm in full-time ministry. But I was talking to her in front of her apartment door, and she was like, you need to just take today off. And I'm like, man, being able to be that vulnerable in front of a woman is something that I never did in my previous relationships. I'll be first to say that. Like I was always like, I'm fine. The pride in me is I'm okay. I didn't feel safe in those areas, but she's created this safe space to where it makes me want to be the best version of myself, to be able to provide for her and be able to be the man of God that God has called me to be. Because if I'm going to love her like Christ has loved the church, I have to be able to be willing to sacrifice having that safe space created, and then also utilizing that safe space and recognizing that. So Courtney means the world to me, man. I could go on for on and on, but that's just a little snippet of it, but she means the world to me. So it's so funny, man. Just like I did when I first met her, I was like, Lord, who is this woman? And I waited. I wanted to jump like, hey, I want to get her number. I want to get to know her. I want to get in a relationship. And he woke me up in the morning. He said, that woman, Courtney, is the woman that I want you to show what relationship looks like when you do it my way. Very shortly after that, we got into a relationship. Then we got into a relationship. A couple months go by, we're getting to know each other. It's going great. God, when should I marry this woman? Didn't hear anything, nothing, nothing. And then about 6 months ago, 3/21 popped in my mind. I'm like, 3, 2, 1, like a countdown. Like, what is this, Lord? March the 21st? Okay, so what does that mean? And he told me, because at first I was like, oh, it's like a countdown. So I was telling people that, but that wasn't the full revelation of it. what he showed me was that this is the 21st month that we've been dating, and 3 months before our 2-year anniversary is when he wants me to propose to her. So 321 has a really deep meaning to it, and he finally revealed to me as to what that was. So it just was the will of God where she was like, hey, I want to do a photo shoot for my blog on the Sunday that we're right before we head to Atlanta. So I'm like, this is all working together. You're getting your hair done, you're getting your nails done, we got your nails, feet done, and all this stuff. And so now that's why tomorrow is going to be it's going to be a culmination of what God has already shown me, and now I'm seeing it all working up to this big moment. So that's why 321 is the day. Courtney, when you see this, I want us to just continue to do what God has called us to do. I want him to continue to use us in a mighty way. And I'm excited for you tomorrow. You don't know what's coming, but I'm hyped. You don't see this going on right now, but you'll see this video. And I love you. I love you more than words can even try to articulate right now. And I'm just looking forward to spending the rest of my life with you.
Surprised because I did not know he was doing this. Obviously.
And you,
so yeah.
And you said?
I said yes.
Yes.
Come on.
It's
Yes.
so pretty.
I don't have no other questions.
All right. That's a wrap, folks.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
He said, will you marry me? And she said, yes.
Hey!
I love that. That's gonna be so good. Oh my goodness.